ESPN scores, and then it should go to like weeks. Like I'm on week 6 right now. If you click on week 7,
I see it.
Perf. Cool. Dun dun dun, and we're back.
Dun dun dun.
We're back, and I redeemed myself. I totally redeemed myself this week because last week I went 6-8 so far. I don't think the Monday night game has started yet, but I'm 10-4 going into this Monday night game.
I'm 11-3.
Motherfucker!
So I also had a good,
the Colts,
very good
me.
week. Yeah, I didn't remember until I was checking everything off. I didn't remember picking the Jets, but I picked the Jets.
I'm calling the challenge flag on that one.
No,
to go back and listen.
But I had it written down. Yeah, Jets.
The Jets over Philly?
Yeah, because I said like Zach Wilson, he's feeling himself. He had a good game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's one that I was happy to lose.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
So, I think you did. I vaguely remember you saying you'd pick the Jets.
Yep.
A big upset. And it panned out. I mean,
got to pick at least one big upset of the week. I feel like that was it.
That one more so than the Cleveland one. But,
yeah.
2 upsets, but that one was definitely the bigger of the 2.
Yep. Yeah. To be fair, the only thing about the Cleveland one is that they do have the number 1 defense in the league. Like we'll get to the game, but that's the only thing I could think of. That one with the Jets was they also have a very good defense. When we talk about it, I'll get more into it. But yeah, I read an interesting thing today that I'll talk about a little bit later.
Stat guide. All right, well, Thursday night, I will say this too: between the London games and the Thursday night games, I don't know what's worse.
No kidding, right?
They're both fucking terrible.
I'm just so tired of seeing the Chiefs on primetime. Like I get why they are. I get it. Your favorite person is why they're on primetime all the time.
At least they released the schedule ahead of time, but
I know.
But it's like if it's not your team, like New England for a long time would get all the prime time games. So it's just like
the NFC East is always on,
right?
I get it. The ratings and the Chiefs are the new darlings of the league. Whatever. I'm just tired of seeing them. I like to see the different teams on there. But so it's it changes. But yeah, the game was boring. I think the Chiefs are in trouble. Their record is 5-1, but they don't look like a 5-1. Their schedule's been very easy if you go back and look at it.
Yeah.
The only good team they played, they lost to. So yeah,
their offense isn't rolling and putting up the points that you would expect them to.
I mean, who's his number 1 wide receiver? Sky Moore.
Yeah.
It's Kelsey, yeah, but his actual wide receiver.
Yeah, right.
Like Juju is terrible this year with the Patriots, but he had 800 yards last year. He was a good second, an actual option after the Kelseys of the world.
Right.
But yeah, their offense doesn't look great. I just want to call out that Sean Payton is a terrible coach. I don't know if you saw this, but at the end of the first half, on 3rd down, they got stopped. They had to punt it, and they called a timeout. The Broncos called the timeout with a minute 50 left, and then punted it, and the Chiefs kicked a field goal. And Sean Payton admitted he messed up. How do you mess that up?
I wish I had the numbers, but there was a poll basically saying who's to blame.
Yeah.
And it might have had more than just 2 options, but Russ and Peyton were in there.
Yep.
And Peyton had the higher percentage. So that's interesting because Russ did not look good last season. He doesn't look good this season. He doesn't have the weapons. He's got a mid-tier receiving core.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Did you see Steve Smith Sr. go in on Judy?
Oh yeah.
And I feel the same way. Judy has never shown anything to me. He had one game last year where he scored 3 touchdowns. Other than that, I can't think of anything he's done of note.
Yeah, and he was a top prospect coming out. Yeah, he was like, oh shit, 15th, Jerry Judy. I was like,
yeah, 15th overall pick, and he's been. Better. He's not quite Harry Keneal, but he's not. I don't know. Gosh, for 15th overall.
Right, so I think Sutton is probably the better of the 2. But again, the Taylor Swift show continues, and it's just so fucking sickening. I'm sorry, but it's God, we get it.
I text you right away at the beginning of that because they did the whole thing at the beginning. Well, is she gonna be there? It was Kelsey's mom. I was like, I'm so over that mom. I'm sure she's lovely.
Now I see, because you fucking pointed her out. Now I see her all the time. I saw her in a commercial. They're like arm wrestling, and she's like, I'm sorry, it's my boys. What the fuck she said.
I'm sure she's a lovely woman. However,
famous last words.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing you. I get it.
Well, so I think it was maybe it was that night or Friday morning. I texted you the fucking headline on ESPN.
Yes.
The headline was a picture of Mahomes' wife and Taylor Swift with the score, and it says Brittany fucking Mahomes and Taylor Swift celebrate a touchdown or something. I'm like, and
I do want to point out that ESPN, as we all know, is owned by Disney, and Disney Plus has a literal, like, not the new one, but there is a Taylor Swift movie on there, like an exclusive Taylor Swift movie on there. So that's shenanigans. And then, of course, Taylor Swift has a new movie coming out like this week. So I'm calling shenanigans. I knows it when I sees it. When I worked at Brooks Pharmacy before the cell phones, I used to on breaks. I used to read Star Magazine all the time because on breaks because I had nothing else to do.
Shout out Brooks Pharmacy.
Yeah, shout out Brooks. R.I.P. I used to have my Celeste pizza. I'd go in the microwave and I'd read my Star Magazine, and I know shenanigans when I see it, and it's all shenanigans to me.
It is very fucking sick. I was just like
very convenient.
It's one of those things where they show her all the time, but then like the headline on ESPN is a wife and a girlfriend celebrating. It wasn't a touchdown because he didn't score a touchdown. They were celebrating his 124-yard performance. No, they weren't. That picture was not from the whole fucking game. It was from a play that they maybe scored on, and it wasn't fucking Kelsey because he didn't score. It's like such fucking bullshit that like in no other fucking realm would they ever be like.
My biggest problem with her was that off the shoulder look she had going on with that jacket. That would have driven me insane. Let's go back and look at her outfit.
Would she do like the one shoulder hang off?
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's very uncomfortable. No one's doing that. No one's doing exactly. What are we doing, Taylor? Again, I'm sure she's a lovely woman.
See, but I said the same, like the Dwight Schrute thing. They both can do better. I think they both could do better. So anyway, but that was that game. The Broncos continue to look like straight sugary dog shit. The Chiefs, again, I'm with you on that. I'm not 100% sold. They're not putting up the points, and they're playing fucking bums.
Yep.
So on to London. London again, 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I think that was the last one. That was the last London one. So
now we're going to Germany.
Yes. Oh God, that's right.
How many Germany games? 2?
There's at least 2.
You guys have the 12th, November 12th.
Yeah.
And then there's another one next week.
Chiefs have one, I think. I think it's the Chiefs.
Yeah, they might. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait for that footage.
Yeah. Yeah. No. She's flying to Germany. Yeah.
We both picked the Ravens on that game, right?
Yeah. We sure did.
Well, all right. So was it just that I really didn't see this? Did Tannehill get pulled because he wasn't playing good, or did he get hurt?
He got hurt. He got carted off.
It was 8 for 16 with 70-something yards.
Yeah. A normal Tannehill game.
Fucking garbage. I mean, they had Malik come in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not impressed with him. I haven't been impressed with him going back to the draft last year where everyone was trying to talk him up as if he was a first-round prospect, and he didn't go until like the 3rd round or something. And they drafted the other gentleman, Levi, whatever you pronounce it, this past year. So they obviously don't believe him in either. But yeah, never really saw anything special with him. He just got. I mean, when I watched, he was just getting sacked nonstop. He didn't really have much of a chance. But the score looked closer than it really was, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy one.
Yeah.
Easy one for the Ravens. I picked the Vikings, and for a period of time, I was like, did I make a mistake? Because it was like 6-6 in the first half. I was like, did I make a mistake here? I had Kirk in fantasy, and he did fucking absolutely nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The Bears had a big win over us, and they played a bum team at home, and they lost.
It just. I apologize. I'm trying to bring up my fantasy thing so I can keep an eye on some stuff. Yeah, it's funny how they can go have a great game on a Thursday night because Thursday nights are crapshoots more than any other game, and then they go and drop a turd. But Fields did get hurt, and he broke his thumb, I think, so he's out indefinitely. From what I last saw.
A lot of quarterbacks getting hurt this week.
They sure are. I don't even.
Who's their backup?
I was actually just going to ask you the same question.
We do this all the time.
I know.
Who's the backup? Who's the coach?
Back up.
I'll let you look that up if you're looking it up.
I sure am.
How long is Jefferson out for?
Tyson Baggett. Never heard of him. And Nathan Peterman's on there too. Oh, no, he wasn't. He was terminated. Who? I'm sorry?
Jefferson. How long is he out for?
He's on the IR, so he's at least 4 weeks. And they said if he is healthy and they're out of the playoff race, they might shut him down for the season. So we'll see.
That's going to be a team that I would assume gets blown up.
Oh, absolutely. Especially because Kirk is in a contract year.
Yeah, I don't see it, but I don't know where he goes, and I also don't know what Minnesota does. But I mean, they're gonna fall into one of those 5, 6, 7 win teams that you're gonna be just outside of a top pick.
Yep, you don't want to be. I mean, speaking from experience, the last 3 years, you don't want to be in that situation because, like you said, you never get that one true superstar. You just get a bunch of middling guys, and sometimes it could take you to the next, over that hump, but probably not. But with Justin Jefferson, he can make any fool look good. So you get him a semi-decent rookie quarterback on the rookie contract, and maybe you can make some things happen.
Well, that's the thing, too. You had Kirk that's swallowing up a lot of money there, too.
Yeah.
So it's not really panning out.
Yeah, maybe he'll go back for cheaper. Who knows? I mean, he's made how much guaranteed money? He had the 2 franchise tags from the Redskins, and then he had the fully guaranteed from the Vikings. So he's made a lot of money.
I think in those 2 franchise years, I think he made 40-something million. Yeah. So he is fucking well set. I'm sure he's going to try to get a ring.
Yeah.
But, both picked the Vikings on that one, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Cincy at home, I think I went with Cincinnati.
Yep, I went Cincinnati. They're picking it up. 3-3 now. So they got back to the 500 mark, which is that's the most important. You get there, and then anything can happen. The Seahawks just haven't, and we did watch some of the Monday night game, but they just haven't really. They're 3-2, so they're not doing terrible. But I don't know. Bengals at home. Usually when it's 2 teams and I'm kind of waffling 50-50, I just go with the home team.
Right, because if it was in Seattle, it could have went the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still not sold on the Bengals being back.
Mm-hmm.
But they squeak out a win against a decent opponent.
Yeah.
17-13 at home.
And Chase had another good game for me in fantasy. I'll get to it into the corner, but that's why I'm always interested to see how the Bengals do because of Chase.
Right. One of the upsets of the week, the Browns over the Niners, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry got hurt in that fucking game.
So I watched the London game, obviously. The only thing I like about the London game is the time. I don't hate the 9:30 because it's kind of fun that I could watch a NFL football game.
That
9:30, yeah. Imagine living on the West Coast. 1 o'clock games are at 10. I would like.
So how does that work for the 9:30?
Yeah, 6:30. Imagine 6:30 a.m.
It is, right?
Yeah, that's how I watch Premier League. The Liverpool, the earliest they play is 7:30 our time, so it must be 2 o'clock their time or something.
Yeah.
But if you're West Coast and you're Redskins fan, Patriots fan, you're watching most of the games at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's gonna be just weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
It is fun to drink coffee while you're watching.
That's why the West Coast is just they're so soft because even when you watch a UFC, the pay-per-view starts over here at 10, 7 over there.
Yeah,
you can watch the whole pay-per-view and still go out.
Well, that's what I've seen scenes about the Celtics when they
the West Coast
all
trips.
the playoff games start at 8:30. Come on,
get
home, just whatever, be home early, call out work.
So CMC got hurt, which. It was only a matter of fucking time.
Yeah.
Trent Williams got hurt, but I think I don't know if he came back.
He came back.
And Debo got hurt early.
Yes, first quarter.
I don't know if there was one of the two had better news today, Debo or CMC.
Oh, I think it was Debo because CMC looked. I forget what it was. It was oblique.
Yeah. So maybe Debo had the better news on the injury update anyway. But he was on my fantasy and he did fucking nothing for me.
Debo and Trent are day to day. And the 49ers are optimistic about McCaffrey.
Honestly, they had a chance at the end. They missed that 41-yarder.
Yeah. And like I said, the Browns are the number 1 defense in the league, so they have a really good defense. What's his name? Their edge rusher was Myles Garrett was running rough shot on them.
Mm-hmm.
This is my complaint with the NFL too. This is what I was going with before, but like I watched the early game, and then this was the only game that was on at 1:00. So the Patriots didn't play till 4:05. I have red zone, but I like to watch games. I like to watch the full game if I can.
Mm-hmm.
And this game was the only one on at 1, so I watched it all the way through except for the end when the Patriots game came on.
Right.
And it was just, it was interesting to see what happened to Purdy when some of his weapons started going down, and he played a good defense. Yeah. Interesting.
Well, they said that would have been his first game-winning drive if they had pulled it off.
That's wild to think about. That means his team is always ahead, always like running the clock, that kind of thing. So that's funny.
And they had the shot too.
They did
41-yarder, but they missed it.
I get so confused because I was watching the Patriots, and this is why I text you afterwards. But I was watching the Patriots game that had started, and then I was looking at my phone and it said 41-yard miss, and then it said penalty 15 yards, and I said, "Oh my God, was there a?"
It was a celebration thing.
Yeah. I realized that afterwards. I was so, and then also someone in my fantasy chat said, "Oh, that Browns loss messed me up in my survivor pool," and I got very confused. But there was a typo, so that's why I got so confused. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a decent game. It was funny. The 49ers got the ball and they just like marched right down the field. Immediately scored a touchdown, and I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah.
Excuse me, but that's what shows the NFL is just wild. You see that happen a lot in the NFL, where like they have like that first drive game planned out, or like, and then they peter out after.
So on the local, was there 2 4:30 games that they showed? Usually, if there's usually it's 2 1:00s, and then they show 1 4:30. But because it was only 1 1:00 on,
I think the Eagles Jets game was on
Fox or something.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever switched to it because I went right to the post game show after.
Yeah, I also watched the New England game, so we'll get to that. Excuse me. All right, and dude, I smelt an upset on this other game coming.
What's that?
The Dolphins were down 14-0, and I was like, "Oh man, big upset."
Oh yeah, I was
42-21,
and that was Mo's money pick. There we go. I was gonna say it's probably green. Make it the green one.
I should switch it to green.
That's it. I same thing. Saw the score and I was like, oh crap, another one bites the dust. And then they came out firing whatever. Thielen crushing it for me again in fantasy. Best waiver wire pickup of the year so far because he's the 4th ranked points total is 4. He's 4th of all wide receivers, but they got up really big. They're up 21. They had the ball, and I was like, "Oh, that's done." Like, wipe my hands of that one. I find my money pick finally hit. Yeah. And then Mike White was in for the Dolphins. Throws a pick 6. So they're up 14. The spread was 13.5. I'm like, shit. And I could see a garbage time touchdown happening. And I was like, if they score again, I'm gonna be very upset. I was already writing my brand. But thankfully the Dolphins came out and scored another touchdown and covered that for me. But the 14-0 start for the Panthers was interesting. Very interesting. Jess's her hot take holds true for another week.
I know. Well, again, they were down 14-0 early, and then they scored 21 in the second quarter and fucking blew them out. But looking at it right now, they have scored 223 points in 6 games. Do the math on that, and then get back to me on their average because it's fucking. I mean, you throw 70, but it's like they throw up 42 and nobody bats an eye because I think they've scored over 40 in at least 3 games, so if not more. So. But I smelt another upset coming there, and I was like, "Oh shit, they're gonna fucking blow it," and they didn't. Time out 1 second. Oh man, I thought this would be Gardner Minshew's revenge tour, and it fell short. I went with the Colts on the road. You took the Jags.
Yep.
It didn't look like a close game.
Again with the home thing. No, it was not close. It was 21-6 at the half and then 31-6. Yeah, so it would not much happened in Colts land there. Pittman got me a touchdown in fantasy. It's interesting because you had said, oh, maybe the Jags coming back from London, they'll have like a opposite effect. I don't think because they were there for 2 weeks, and I don't know if that's the reason, but it didn't affect them, but it may have affected the Bills, who we'll get to in a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, the Jags, Minshew revenge tour, that was not
3 picks. And also, I mean, for the foreseeable future and maybe the rest of the year, Gardner will be the starter because Anthony Richardson, they
that
said,
does suck. Not surprising, but sucks.
Potentially doing surgery that
Yeah.
would put him out for the year, which is unfortunate. But 3 injuries, like you said, 3 injuries, 3 different injuries
Yeah.
in 5 weeks is
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah. He threw for 300 yards. I mean, you know, I would just love for the Patriots to score 20 points in a loss. That'd be nice. That'd be cool. Good, whatever.
You're looking like
Yeah.
the Redskins through like the Jay Gruden
Ugh,
years.
oh my gosh.
My Joker pick held true again. I think I'm on a 3-game streak here. The Saints fell to the Texans
And that's
on the road. Texans at home. 3-3. The Texans with the low bar.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
No, I mean, good on them, man. You'd love to see that when a team that's coming from the number 1 overall pick, you know, crushing it like that. And that's what the Saints offense is. The offense should not be scoring 30 whatever points like they did against the Patriots. They're a 13-point offense, and that just shows how bad our defense is, who are decimated by injuries. But yeah, I think you just I already feel like I know who your Joker picks gonna be next week because all these teams coming off of these Patriots games. Woof. The one thing I should say that I forgot to mention earlier between the Panthers and the Bears, the Panthers are 0-6. The Bears own their first round pick for DJ Moore. So the Bears currently have the number 1 overall pick and the number 2 overall pick.
Ooh.
So let's keep an eye on that because some people will be like, oh, the Panthers are tanking. They can't tank. They don't have their number 1 overall pick.
Right.
So they're playing. Just going to throw that little tidbit out there. So that'd be interesting to see the Bears if they actually wind up with the 2 overall the first 2 picks. That'd be insane.
I think there's a lot of these teams to me are mirroring each other. Like it not just because of the quarterback, but like the Saints and Raiders to me mirror each other. Like the Titans and the Vikings mirror each other to me in a way. The way they play, and I think that a little bit of overratedness there.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints. Again, we've said it a few times. Especially when the Patriots are now the team that people just beat up on, like the bad team. Like you circle it on the calendar, and they just beat them up, and it's not like indicative of their talent because the Saints, you turn around and play a team of the Texans who should have no talent, but they have a good coach now. It seems like, and they're playing for them, and they have a nice, good rookie quarterback who's doing well. So
they fell back down to earth to the Texans and only put up 13.
It's funny because the stats they show all here on the all Carr, Kamara, Olave. They don't show anything for the Texans. So it's like, that's interesting. But
I believe I did, right? I went with the Rams. I almost went with the Cardinals, but
I did go with the Cardinals.
You did go with the Cardinals.
Yeah, because divisional game, I thought maybe they would, because they've been playing hard. But they've been playing hard, but they're also 1-5.
Yep.
So, I mean, at least their games have been fun to watch if you're a Cardinals fan. But Rams just with Cooper back.
Yeah, I had Cooper on my bench.
Oh no!
7 catches, 148 touchdown. I had him on my bench in one of the leagues. I think it was the league that I am actually going to win in. The other league, not so much. But yeah, no, Rams at home. Not much to say on that one.
Yep.
Cooper had a good game.
Yeah.
The pleasant surprise of the week was the Jets.
Yeah.
Taking down the Eagles.
Yep. And this is the second time that, Jalen has tried to give away a game at the end. He threw 3 interceptions, and he threw it wasn't a pick 6, but it was like a pick to inside the 10.
Yeah.
When they were driving to take the lead. Actually, they were winning. They were winning the game. It was 14, I think.
12?
12, yeah. They were leading, and he threw an awful interception, so I don't know what he was thinking there. But he did the same thing against the Patriots. They're driving just to run the clock out, and he got popped and fumbled the ball. And the Patriots should have scored, but they're the Patriots of 2023, so that did not happen. But yeah, he kind of just – and good on the Jets for putting it in the end zone and then scoring the 2-point conversion. So that
was a pleasant surprise. I picked Philly, but, happy to see a division foe get taken down.
Yeah, and the Eagles have not really impressed me between the Patriots outing and I mean, if anyone, if the Patriots' best game of the year was the first game of the season against the Eagles, that was their best.
Yeah.
I watched that game and be like, oh yeah, they got something going here.
Right.
And the Eagles have not in the primetime games that I've seen them, they haven't really done anything too special in my eyes.
If Washington went for 2, they could have been.
Yeah,
potentially
you're totally right.
They could have been 4-2 rather than looking unstoppable at 5-0 and then getting beat by the Jets. So.
And Jets at home, and they apparently we saw the interview before we started with one of the defensive players in the Jets. I guess a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, the Eagles ran up the score on the Jets, according to that young man. And apparently they did not forget. They did not forget, so they were up for it. They were up for it.
I like it. I like it when the divisional team loses.
Yeah, and yeah. It's also funny because last week I said just wake me for the 49ers-Eagles game, and they both lost this past week. So that's the NFL for you.
Watch out, Washington's coming through.
They both lost to AFC teams. So
fair.
If you're gonna lose a game, lose a non-conference game. Because the year that the Patriots went 11-5, the Matt Castle year, they missed the playoffs because
that was the Wildcat year.
Yeah.
Miami Wildcat year.
Because their record against the conference was terrible. So that's why they were 11-5. They missed the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. I mistakenly took Tampa at home. I know it was the Lions. Listen, I'm all for Detroit doing well. They're 5-1. They're 3-0 on the road. I'm all for them. So don't take that personally. I really just thought, like, all right, let's see. The Bucks could.
You bought into the Baker hype. You bought into
fucking Baker, and I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
Let him bake, and he did not.
20-6, a good win on the road. Again, the Lions. I mean, Goff 353, 2 touchdowns. Again, when they made that trade for Stafford, and it was like, oh, Goff kind of had an off year at the end with the Rams, and people were like, Goff. You got something in return. You got an established quarterback. He was still young. He's still young, but he's played enough. You got a piece to where like you can build around.
Yeah, the initial thought was, people immediately said he was just a bridge quarterback. It's
right,
like, a bridge to what? Like he. I mean, it might not have all been him, but he did take a team to the Super Bowl. Like they got there.
Right.
They were only a score away from winning that thing.
Right.
If he didn't throw the interception to Gilmore, who knows what could have happened?
Mm-hmm.
And he played decent. You just gotta work with his faults and you make them better, like you usually do. That's what coaching's for.
Yep.
And if he takes a decent, and I don't know what his contract looks like now, but I think he was still within the rookie contract. And if he just takes like a middle of the road type deal, then they can probably still have money to put around him.
Right.
And they've definitely been spending draft capital to get like Jameson Williams, who just got a touchdown, and he was the one that got suspended for the gambling. So he's there. They just took the running back for them. Excuse me. They got Demont in free agency. But they did let Swift go, which we know. Am I thinking of the right person?
Yeah, because he went to Philly.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So yeah. I mean, 20. They only scored 20 points, but I'm wondering if that's all they really needed to do. So.
Oh, I mean, I don't think the Buccaneers did much. They only scored 6.
Yeah.
So,
My biggest stress of that game was Laporta had a calf flare up, and the game wasn't until 4:00. So I need to find. It's just annoying because it's like, he's game time decisions. You have to wait till 90 minutes before the game starts to see if he's inactive or not.
Yeah.
Thankfully he was active, but the problem is Pitts was my backup, and he played at 1:00, and he scored a touchdown, of course.
Yeah.
So I didn't play him. So I picked up Conklin, the Jets tight end, as just like an emergency situation, and thankfully I didn't have to play him. But Laporta did not have a good game. Who knows? Could have been his calf, but. That was a bit of a bummer because I love Laporta. But I also have Jameson Williams on my bench.
I'm surprised you didn't start Pitts.
Well, if Laporta, if he was, because it was like questionable, you're probably right. I probably should have just been like, something's bothering him. He might have a good game. I probably should have just done Pitts in there. But yeah. I fudged up.
It happens.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I didn't see much of the Sunday night game, which was the Bills at home.
Yeah,
they beat the Giants. Giants are 1-5, looking like a dumpster fire.
I typically will watch the first half of the primetime games because I get a little sleepy.
Yeah.
I did watch the first half of this one. Just gonna throw out Tyrod Taylor is an idiot. I don't know if you saw the last play of the first half, but they're on the 1-yard line with about 15 seconds left, no timeouts, and he handed it off. It was a pass play, and he checked out of the pass into a run to Barkley, who did not score a touchdown, and then they ran out of time.
Backup quarterback.
Yeah, but it's like you've been a starter in this league. You've gone to the playoffs. how do you not know that? But even I will say, even Brady has been sacked like that before and missed. Like it happens. But oof, that's a brain fart and a half.
Yeah.
Woof.
I didn't. I don't really have a way to watch because it's a national.
You gotta get that NFL Plus, and all the primetime games are on there. I think just another streaming service.
Well, that's the thing.
Buy.
Like, how many am I supposed to? We have the package. I followed it. I followed it on like the. I was doing the ticker watcher thing on, on ESPN. Yeah. But
also, you can watch it. That you can watch it on the the fantasy app, ESPN fantasy app. Yep.
I wish that because was that game on ESPN? No, it was on NBC. Right?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's Peacock. Monday Night Football. You can watch it. You should be able to watch it on the.
Well, here's the thing. Like the first couple weeks they had 2 games or something. They were showing on ESPN Plus. I'm paying for ESPN Plus. Can you just let me watch the fucking Monday night game? Yeah. I don't understand. Like
that is stupid.
You pay extra for it, but you need to have like cable. Like I'm paying for your service specifically.
So you used to be able to watch Monday Night Football on the ESPN Fantasy app, but now you have to log into your cable. So I did not realize that's new.
Yeah. So
apparently I can't do that anymore. I lied. Sorry.
It's
it
one
is
of
shenanigans.
those things.
It is shenanigans, and it's funny because I just got an email. It was right after the ESPN Plus game that was only on ESPN Plus. I think it was the London game, and it was a terrible game. And right after that game ended, I got an email saying my ESPN Plus subscription cost was going up. I was like, that's a really bad timing because that game was terrible, and I don't think I want ESPN Plus anymore. So I have to go. The problem with ESPN Plus is I have the PGA Tour on there, and I really, really love that because I can watch PGA like 9 a.m. on a Thursday while I'm working. It's awesome.
I mean, if it wasn't for the UFC deal, I probably wouldn't even bother.
That's like an exclusive thing, right?
It's like
you can't even get on
now it's
pay-per-view.
2 fucking paywalls. Yeah. So in order to just buy the pay-per-view, you need ESPN Plus. Yeah. So it's double paywall.
You just can't get a normal pay-per-view. That's insane.
So it's 2 paywalls. So now with their pricing for a pay-per-view plus what you pay for ESPN Plus and tax, it's just shy of $100 to watch one fight.
That's insane.
It's fucking ridiculous. It used to be like $60, $50.
Oh my gosh. The streaming services have gotten out of control. Let me just quick tangent. So I'm a fan of the the Premier League. The Liverpool Football Club. Started watching them a couple of years ago. Getting more into soccer. Fan of the Revolution, the Real Football Club that's coming up. I just like sports. I just like live sports. I like people to watch stuff, whatever. So in order to watch Liverpool, because in these different leagues, they play they have their domestic league. They have a European league where they play all the best teams. They have like a tournament every year where they play all the teams in England on like a March Madness single game elimination.
Yep.
In order to watch all of these leagues, just to watch this one team, you literally have to have 3 different. You need to have Peacock for the Premier League, the standard domestic league. You need to have Paramount Plus for the Champions League or Europa, which is the Europe where they play English teams will play Spanish teams and Italian teams and stuff.
Yep.
Then you need to have ESPN Plus for the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, which are the knockout matches. And then you need to have, did I say Peacock already? Yeah, I said Peacocks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Just to watch 3 different streaming services, just watch one team across 3 different things.
It just makes no sense.
Yeah. And then if you want to watch the national team, like America, they usually play on Fox. So
again, if you don't have cable or something.
Sometimes they're on USA. But yeah, the other ones you literally cannot watch them with cable because I don't think they ever put that stuff on ESPN or CBS unless it's like the championship match. Then it might be on domestic or on cable. But just quick tangent. I know it's a football podcast, but that's the original football. Sorry, I mean, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Do you want to talk about the Patriots?
Let's get it out of the way. Let's get yours is good. Let's end on a high note.
So I did watch that game, which I haven't usually, but now my father's got the box just to watch some local shit. So we did watch that game. Cool. When I texted you and I said, before they hiked the ball, we were watching the game, and I said, interception. And that was the one where he rolled. I don't know how many picks he threw.
Just the one.
Just the one. He rolls out.
He should have thrown another one later on, but he didn't. He got lucky.
I don't know what the fuck he was thinking there.
Yeah.
It was like one of those, like, I just felt it coming. I go, interception.
Yeah.
And there it is.
At least they got to the red zone a couple times. I will say that. They scored a touchdown for the first time in like 12 quarters.
Which is fucking insane. Yeah, because it was like they had only scored
6 points.
6 points in 10 quarters.
3 points. 3 points.
In 10 quarters.
Yeah. Yep.
By halftime, they only had 3 points, right?
Yeah, it's not great when you look and say, like, oh, at least they scored a touchdown. that's the plus you come out of it.
Right.
They're just, I mean, I don't want to. You start seeing this when a team goes 1-4, 1-5. The injuries pile up. I don't know if it's guys who are just like, whatever, I'm not going to go back out there. They're 1-5, you know.
Yeah,
but you start seeing it. The injuries pile up.
Yeah.
I mean, more guys got hurt. One of our White got hurt on defense. One of our rookie defensive pieces who was looking good. He got hurt. So another person on defense, Uche, got hurt, who was our like 11 sack guy last year. Outside of opposite of gosh, why is the name escaping me? The other guy who's hurt, Judon. So yeah, just tons of dudes just dropping like flies. I mean, the guy out there playing the cornerback playing Devontae Adams, we literally just traded for last week. And yes, while he's been in the system before, that's still what's happening. You know, he's covering him. We got safeties out there who are jumping routes, and Jimmy G got hurt, and we have Brian Hoyer coming in and leading field goal.
I can't believe he's still fucking playing.
And he had no problem leading those drives against us. He went 6 for 10 with like 100 yards, and he had one deep pass to one of their wide receivers because again, it was Jonathan Jones chasing, who got hurt by the way on the play, another injury. But I think the safety left him out to dry. I think he thought he had safety help, and I mean I can't know for sure until I watch like the all-22, but pretty sure he tried to jump the route and got messed up.
But there was a throw late that was Devontae Parker right in his fucking hands.
Oh yeah,
right in his fucking hands.
So this 4:05 games are the absolute worst because the ending always runs right into bedtime. So we're trying to get the two children to bed while also watching. Yeah. So I actually paused it. I didn't see the last. It was 19-10. I saw a little bit right before the touchdown. I took because Brady wanted to play downstairs. So I took him downstairs, and I had my Xbox down there. I had to upgrade my Xbox. This is life of a parent here. Upgrade my Xbox to get Paramount Plus up because Paramount Plus does show NFL on CBS, so you can watch the local game. So I was like, okay, and it's a little bit behind the TV upstairs. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch it down here. And then Jess is watching upstairs. She's like, "Are you behind?" I was like, "Yes." I'm like 2 plays behind, so she couldn't cheer at certain points. And then I missed a little bit, and then they had the ball, and I said, "Oh, they have the ball. Do you want me to pause it?" She said, "Yeah." We had the cable. I was like, "So I'm back upstairs." Brayden was in bed. She was putting the baby down, and we paused it. And I remember like I was in the hallway, and I'm just standing there, and I'm walking to pause it, and I said to myself, "It's not gonna happen." Like this happens every time. Like they had the ball inside the 20, and let's just go over that last drive. So this is like a perfect encapsulation of where this team is. So it's like, I think it was like 3rd and something. They get a first down, and there's a holding call on the offensive line. Awesome. Right after that, it is now 2nd and 15 after Stevenson just got a first down on a pretty decent play where they're moving along. Mac Jones has the best throw of probably his career, his entire career. Devontae Parker, as you said, hits him right in the hands. Even like a bad wide receiver catches that.
I mean, it was good, right in his fucking hands.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a nice throw.
Yeah. And it was right there. And Ryland has a big leg, so who knows what could have happened there. And it was on their side of the field, so he drops it. And my favorite thing about that, and this is why Devontae Parker is such a little bitch, and I do not like him. After the game, he says, "Yeah, I was, got my fingertips." Mother effer, that ball did not get on your fingertips, and it hit the palm of your hand.
And what you should say is, "I should have caught that ball," regardless.
Right.
You got to own it.
Yeah. Fingertips.
But it is interesting because as shaky as Mac does look and has looked this year, he has no fucking weapons.
No weapons and no offensive line.
And that's the thing too. Like, and I used to say that even when Brady was there.
Yeah.
Not to take away from certain guys that he had, like Gronk and Edelman, but in some of those years, I'm like, yeah, he's got fucking nobody.
2006, they were up 21-7 in the AFC Championship game against the Colts, and I think his number one wide receiver was Rashad Caldwell or something.
Yeah.
And also shout out Bill Belichick for letting Deion Branch walk at the beginning of that year because that had nothing.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So,
but there was another one of those. I don't know if it was Brady's last year.
But yeah. So
he had fucking. Yeah. I'm like, they're like trying to run him out of town. He
Yeah.
had no fucking weapons.
And that's a bit of my corrections corner that I have to do right here with Jess's hot take last week. She was not happy with me. I think
Wait, what was last week?
So last week was Mac has no weapons. He can't do anything on the peak without that. It's not really all his fault. And
That was her hot take last week?
Hold on, let me scroll through real quick. I gotta go back.
Don't misquote.
He can't do anything without weapons. And then she said, because look what Tom Brady in 2019.
Yes, right.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it, but I don't think I credited her. And I didn't do it intentionally. It's like when you're a stand-up comic, it's like through osmosis, you just hear things and then you just regurgitate it. So I'm sorry. But yeah, look at Brady in 2019. People thought he was done.
He had nobody. And then he goes to Tampa and he's got fucking guys he can throw it to.
So Mac has literally no one. And then let's
and Mac is also not Brady.
No,
I'm sorry,
of course. And he's just I'm pretty sure he's toast, like mentally, physically. I think last year took a lot out of him. It doesn't seem like he has the backing of the locker room anymore. Yeah. And then let's just continue on that drive. So he had the bad wide receiver play where he dropped the ball that was in his hands. SAWFT, soft. Because in the fingertips, bullshit. Next play, delay of game. I put that on the quarterback. How do you get a delay of game?
Yeah.
You're running the hurry up offense. I know the clock stopped because of the incomplete pass, but what are you doing?
But, and we'll get into it, but the Falcons had one or two and almost three.
Oh, my God. And that's also on the coaching, too. And then the last play was a safety where that offensive line, I don't know if you watched the playback, but that guy Max Crosby's a menace, but he had no shot.
All right. Because I didn't see a good replay of, they'll show the wideouts where they are. So when that play happened, they showed the replay of him getting sacked in the end zone. But I didn't want to blame him without seeing where the design play was, because if you're sending your receivers too far out, he has to sit back.
It was 3rd and 15. It wasn't 4th. So he could have in theory, he could have dumped it off to Stevenson.
Right.
He could have dumped it off to Gesicki in the flat if Gesicki didn't fall down trying to chip Max Crosby.
Right. So again, showing it, I'm he's just sitting in the end zone. But if the design play had your receivers going too far out, he needed to sit back.
He needs at least 3 seconds.
That's on the play call.
Yeah.
You can't have your quarterback sitting, and he was deep.
Oh yeah,
and he was there for a minute.
And if you look, it's funny too, because even if you watch the delay of game play, if that got stopped, if that delay of game didn't happen and they got the ball off on time, he would have got a safety on that play too. Because Max Crosby had a stunt and he was unblocked. He was untouched. So it's just bad. There's no weapons. The defense, which is their what they stand on forever, is decimated by injuries. Top 4 cornerbacks, both of our edge rushers. One of our linebackers just went out. It's bad. And they gave up 24 points, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but to the Raiders it is. They finally had a good takeaway with that Peppers hit and then on Adams, but it's only their 3rd of the year, so.
But through the first 4 weeks, I gave them somewhat of a pass because they were playing good teams.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'll even give Dallas a pass that they're a better team. But the last 2 weeks, the Saints and the Raiders are not they're not good teams.
They're the 2 other bad offenses. And next week, the Raiders are going to score 13, just like the Saints did after scoring 38 against us. And a few weeks ago, I even said, you better win these next 2 games, because after that, it's Bills and the Dolphins. So Washington. We're staring down the barrel of a 1-7 start.
And I think, again, 1-5, like we said, once you get to that point of losing a few games, I think next week, I know they're 1-5 and they look like shit. Next week, if they lose next week, I think they're out.
Yeah,
I mean 1-5 is awful.
The wheels are coming off.
But at 1-6, you are literally 2 losses away from being completely fucking gone.
You can't even beat the bad teams, and it's not great. I mean, they're so bad. I'm wearing the hat of a team that doesn't even exist anymore. Boston Braves. So it's bad all the way around. Weapons, defense, offense, you name it.
I get you. I mean, listen, there was a piece of me that I picked the Raiders, but a piece of me was like, I don't know. The Raiders, I'm not sold on the Raiders. I'm not sold on Jimmy. I'm not sold on McDaniels.
Yeah, he's
now not sold on them.
He's also now 3-0 against Belichick, which is hilarious.
Yeah. I guess they are the better of the 2, but I still wasn't sold enough. And then Jimmy got hurt again. So.
Yep. Went to the hospital.
Better news, though. I doubt he plays next week. They're playing Chicago, so realistically, I mean, if Fields is out, you could play Hoyer and still win that game. Even if Fields does play, you could still win that game. I wouldn't risk Jimmy for that, but yeah.
Brutal.
And then
on lighter news, we had a nice, after like 3 weeks, we finally have a victory to talk about.
Well, that's true too, because we were on a 3-game losing streak. You guys have been, what are you on, a 4?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Three?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 this week.
They were 1 and 2. Yep. So now we're 1, 3. Yeah.
It was a fucking roller coaster of a game. I'm not gonna lie, because like 24-16, Atlanta made so many stupid fucking plays. The play calling, they had delay of games at like towards the end. And I was kind of shitting on Washington's offense yesterday, unintentionally. Like, me and my father watching the game, and I was like, if you look at it, we scored 24 points, but 2 of those drives where we got 2 touchdowns, Jameson Crowder took it to the 10 on a punt.
Yep.
And then we, I think it was Kendall Fuller got a pick and brought us to the 30. Mm-hmm. So you should score there. You're usually on the fucking 10 and the 30. And credit to the offense. They did, but I'm like, all right, so they scored 14 and they had fucking great field position. They only scored fucking 10 other points.
Right.
I mean, but anyway, they did look good.
The good teams capitalize on those kind of plays, you know?
I'll give it to them.
Yeah.
The defense actually showed up.
There's nothing more annoying than when you get an interception and then it turns into a field goal. Especially when they take it to like the 10.
Granted, it's like, all right, well, those 3 points that we but again, even when Crowder took it to the 10, I was like, fuck, because these are the drives where you're like, you need to finish.
Yeah.
Like, if you score, because now it's like, all right, you're on the 10, but it's not a guarantee. But the defense actually showed up yesterday, big time. Like the front 4, they looked fucking good. They actually did sit Emmanuel Forbes.
Okay.
Rookie that we drafted.
The cornerback. Wow, that's surprising.
So he was getting burnt against Philly. Brown was killing him, and then he got burnt. The following week against Chicago, he's just getting fucking torched. He's young. I'm sure he'll be fine. They started Danny Johnson. Johnson actually had a good game. I like Forbes. I'm sure he'll be fine. But again, we need to fucking win now. And the defense, usually it's the other way around. Like the defense has been fucking us. Mm-hmm. But they actually showed up.
I did see that interception that Ritter threw in the end zone, and that was really bad.
Oh, yeah. At the end?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was awful.
Like, what are you doing?
So they were down 24-10. Now, I don't know if you followed this game much, but down 24-10. Mm-hmm. They score a touchdown. Mm-hmm. They went for 2.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Why? Because now here's the fucking risk here. I don't understand the fucking play calling here. You go for 2, miss it, and now you have to go for 2 just to tie it.
Yeah.
It's one thing, kick the extra point, go down 24-17. Then if you score again and it's 24-23, now you have the option, like, hey, do we just go for 2? Because, like, they go off of the percentages. Well, we have a higher percentage of getting it. No, and then you didn't, and you fucking lost. Like, you know what I mean? If you had the 24-23, then I could see, like, the Washington-Philly thing, like, hey, we could either tie it because it's late, or we go for 2 and just try to win it. Because the percentage would say we could win it.
Yeah.
Going for 2, when you're down, you're still down. It was 24-16. They went for 2.
Yeah, I've heard the Patriots, something happened in a game last year where this was a big discussion point. I'm like, oh, go for it too early, because if you don't get it, you just go for 2 again. I'm like, yeah, but why? Like, why would you put that pressure on yourself?
It just now it would have been nice if they had scored. It wouldn't have been nice for me, but if it would have been nice if you were down 24-17, you score a touchdown. Now you have the option.
Yeah.
Hey, we can kick it, get the easy 1, or we go for 2 and try to win this. Now you have to go for 2. You don't even have the fucking option, and the pressure's on for you to do it. I just didn't understand that. Yeah. The play calling was really fucking weird. The delay of games. Again, listen, we were up 14. If we lost this game, I was gonna be fucking pissed, and I was like, they're gonna fucking blow it. I know them.
Yeah,
like the back of my fucking hand. I know them. These refs are a problem.
Yeah,
they are a fucking problem.
Yeah, I actually had my notes too, because that last play of the Bills game, they missed a holding.
I heard about it, didn't see it.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
it was pretty blatant. The ref was right there. So I don't know how they miss it, but
It was so they were on the pick at the end that Ritter threw. Jamin Davis kind of cut and made a move. He had some hands on the receiver. He still jumped the ball. I don't think it would have mattered. But I'm like, they were getting pissed about that. I was like, well, that's kind of like even because in the beginning of the game, fucking De'Ami Brown's trying to catch a one-handed because he's blatantly being fucking held. But it's like they'll wait for an incomplete pass, and then they throw the flag.
Yeah.
And then like they had I forget who it was. They're wrestling for the ball. As soon as it comes down, now they're wrestling for the ball, and then the ref just goes like this. They're still wrestling for the fucking ball. You don't actually know who has the fucking ball.
Yeah, even in the Patriots game, there were way too many calls. The refs nonstop. Like they called on the field goal attempt, they called their leverage. I didn't see it on the Patriots. They got 3 more plays, and the next play holding. On the Raiders didn't see that one either.
Yeah,
it was a pancake block. I think even Romo called it out on the broadcast. And then on Zeke had a long touchdown run. They called holding. It was borderline in my opinion. I've seen much worse.
Right.
But it's
bad. It's really fucking bad. So there was one. If I can get the clip, I'll show you. I think it was Cody Barton on Ritter. Now Ritter is in a throwing motion.
Yeah.
So Barton is jumping up to block the ball, but he's also very close to him. So he's gonna he's gonna jump and also get the sack. Hit him high. I'm like, what the fuck was he supposed to do in that situation? Like, you can't hit him low.
Did he release the ball?
Well, he was in a throwing motion,
Yeah.
so he jumped, but he was also like going for a sack. So, but he's gonna jump up because you're throwing the ball. He's gonna try to block it. It's like he's supposed to just go like this. It was like, what the fuck are we doing? I know protect the quarterback, I get it, but it's like some of the calls were like, oh my god. Again, if Atlanta fucked themselves, we capitalized on their mistakes. I will take that win. The refs were a bit of a fucking issue.
Yeah.
On some of those fucking calls. I'm like, bad. But anyway, I will take a win. First win in fucking 3 weeks or first win in a month.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Take it where you can get them.
Amen. Where do you want to go next? Where do you want to go next? That was the last game. The Packers and the Steelers were on a bye this week, which we'll get into it. But you had two teams on a bye this week. Next week you have 6. Why wouldn't you fucking even it out and just do 4 and 4? Am I stupid?
It's like when they do this thing where they put 7 games on at 1 o'clock and then 2 at 4 o'clock.
I don't get it.
So makes sense.
I'm like, it's a fucking every fucking 6 teams next week.
We could go with a bye night. That would be nice, but not happening.
Fair enough. All right, so what corner do you want to go in?
Let's do the fantasy corner.
The fantasy corner.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. We can start with Cheese's league. Shout out Cheese.
Shout out Cheese. Big win by the Jets. I congratulated him, and I appreciate them beating a division rival.
Mm-hmm. I will never congratulate him, but he can listen to the show and hear my congratulations because I said I want Cheese to be happy. I want my fantasy friend Chris to be happy. And especially, I mean, if there's any year that the Jets will be like, okay, have it be the year where the Patriots are effing terrible, you know? And then not have to worry about it.
Hey, it's not like, it's not much competition going on.
Right, right. What was I was watching something the other day too. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you because you shared a picture of it.
Oh no.
How do you feel about the jersey swap?
Heineke?
Yeah.
And how?
Just in general. Like I know Heineke, I get it. Why? Like we talked about a few weeks ago, like rivalries aren't a thing anymore.
The jersey swap in general?
They can't make jersey. Thanks for your jersey.
I think it's at first I was like, this is dorky. Especially when you're playing like if we're playing Dallas. Fuck off.
Yeah. They do it in soccer all the time, but like I'm like
it is a little dorky, but then it's
a
lot of times it's like if they played at the same school or they used to play together.
Yeah.
Like the Howell and Heineke was like a happy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that. I get it. Moment. Yeah, I was just curious because I saw you post that. I think the Falcons would be better off playing Heineke at this point. Honestly, they have the weapons and they should just do it.
We'll see.
You watch Ritter a whole game. He sucks, right? Pretty bad.
He didn't play great. He didn't play great. But again, like I'll credit our defense because they actually showed up. They put pressure early. I mean, as bad as their defense has played, they do have a fucking line that I would put up there against any defensive line.
Yeah. All right, sorry for the tangent.
No, that's fine. I had Cousins, and he did nothing. I had Russ on my bench. Fuck him. Who else? I had Rashawn Johnson that didn't play, so I got nothing out of him. Santos got me 43 points, my kicker from Chicago. And who else did I have? Diggs did well. I'm going to lose in that league, so it really doesn't matter.
I beat Connor's Crushers, Lauren's team pretty handily, 251, and I still have Herbert going to 149, so definitely winning that one. Greg Leg scored me a cool 60. She had Tyler Bass, who scored her a awful 4, so makes sense. I actually played the Jets defense in that league, which was a little scary because of the Eagles, but they scored me 11, so not bad. Not bad.
Oh, yeah, that was a pretty easy win. The Cheese's Baloney Ponies are losing right now, but he's got Austin Eckler playing.
Okay.
He's projected to win, but he is losing right now. So
we'll keep an eye on that.
That would be a 2-game losing streak for the Baloney Ponies.
In my other league, I am currently losing by 9, but they're done. But I have Herbert and I have CDC Lamb going. So hopefully, but with the second half and most of the second quarter, they can pull me out a win there. So fingers crossed. I'm actually in first place in the league. So
there you go.
Yeah, things are looking good.
And also, don't want to leave this out. Shout out Jess's Canadian Goose Eggs because she's going to get the first win of the year.
Oh, no shit,
the
really?
Cheese League beating Greg. Greg's Miso Hedgie. So shout out to Canadian Goose Eggs.
So going back. Oh, my God. All right, hold on. Let me find it real quick. So I'm trying to find that game. Canadian Goose Eggs. I don't even know where she got that name from. I have to ask her that.
It was something. I vaguely remember. She had an image up, too.
Yeah. That it's funny because
like
a friend of mine in my other league, he just complained about ESPN because they got rid of the images. You can't do custom images anymore.
Yeah.
And he always did like a fun little thing. So we're on Sleeper now, which is a fantasy app. It's just all fantasy sports and there's like gambling stuff on there. But it's funny they have a whole gambling section, but if you tell them that you don't want to see it because you're a gambling addict, they'll get rid of it. So I told them I was a gambling addict.
Fair.
But yeah, so back to the children thing. We were late for this draft because children, and Jess, she had Kayshawn Booty on like her watch list, and she took him in like the first round. So it was not her fault, but it was also her fault. But good, congratulations.
Holy shit! She had Hopkins on the bench at 82 points.
Jessica.
But I mean, she also had Prater that got 50.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't matter, but it's just funny. It's like 82 fucking points on the bench.
She was telling me earlier, she's like, I went from the world championship to 0-5. She was in the world. I think she was in the championship game last year.
Well, first win of the year for the Canadian.
Big shout out, and that can roll us into Jess's hot take.
It's supposed to be like a
El Fuego. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
We'll do it again, just so we can get the
full effect.
The full effect.
Oh my God.
Let's hear the hot take.
So the hot take of the week. So let's go a quick recap. Week 2, Wilson's going to get benched. We're so close. Come on, just freaking do it.
I know.
Just freaking do it.
That's my favorite one so far.
Dolphins will beat the good teams, beat the bad teams, lose to the good teams. Patriots will make a blockbuster trade, whatever, which kind of worked out with Jackson. They're not doing anything more after this, I'll tell you that. So we're going to have to do that. Week 5, Mac Jones can't do anything without the weapons, similar to Brady a la 2019. And then week 6, we have, and this kind of harkens back to the week 5.
Okay.
Brock Purdy is a product of his system. What would he look like on the Patriots? If you go back to the Browns game, he lost CMC, he lost Debo, and it was a really good defense. I will give him that, but he looked pedestrian.
That was everybody's take about Brady forever.
Yeah.
In New England system is like, well, he's in
quarterback. Nothing wrong. I have nothing wrong with a consistent
he's
quarterback.
In the system.
Yeah.
But again, not that was his fault. Excuse me. Not that it was his fault because they missed a 41-yard field goal. But they had said that would have been the first game-winning drive, which
this shows you they're always ahead. I mean, he is already ahead of the game because he's had the same offensive coordinator, Shanahan, for 2 years in a row, which most quarterbacks don't.
That's a luxury in itself. But it's kind of like what you said before, like the rich get richer. You get CMC. I mean, if he comes, he's always bound to get fucking hurt.
Yeah, I think they leaned on him a little too heavily there. So, and we did that too when he was at the Panthers. They ran him into the ground.
But you don't need to because you got Ayuk. Like I feel like you don't need to.
They really don't. And they have a pretty decent. They have Eli. I think Eli Mitchell is hurt because he's always hurt too. But they have another running back there. They should probably lean on a little bit. But yeah, so we'll keep a shot. That's one we can keep an eye on pretty easily. All
right. Well, we'll see if he gets his weapons back. We'll probably never know.
You swap Purdy and Mac. Mac with Shanahan and with Kittle and with guys getting separation. Yeah. There was one play during that game. It was funny because that was when I watched that all the way through until the Patriots started. And the announcer, I think it was Brennahan and what the heck's the old tight end for the Panthers.
Olsen?
Olsen. And they're like, oh, Purdy's scrambling. He's like, oh, he misses Kittle, who's wide open. Oh, and Ayuk is also wide open. So we had two guys in the same play who are wide open.
It's one of those things where, like, you just need a quarterback that can be efficient.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be a star. When you have a good offensive line and you have weapons, but I would agree, if you put him, you could put a lot of quarterbacks on New England. I don't think they're going to be much better.
And that first drive, Mahomes even, that first drive when the 49ers went right down the field and scored a touchdown, I think it was like 7 runs in a row. And then Purdy got the touchdown pass, but it was a shovel pass, little thing, and he went in. So
he's efficient. I mean,
I'm not rooting for him to fail. Like, I hope he succeeds. Like, again, I'm always rooting for success in good football. But I think you'll see it definitely coming down to earth a little bit. We'll see.
All right,
Jessica, keep an eye on that one.
Another hot take. I mean, I'm still banking on week 2's hot take. All right, are you ready?
Yeah. Nice.
The beer of the week.
Beer of the week,
which I don't have one, so.
I got you. It's an Athletic Brewing Company's Upside Dawn Golden non-alcoholic brew. Another one of these. Your father asked me which one I was bringing. I was actually going to bring another one, but I told him I was bringing this one. So like, I got to bring that.
You have to.
Yeah, I have to.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. I can't explain. I'm not good at explaining beers.
When they add more hops.
Add more hops. If there was a comparison, I would say one of the maybe Sam Summer. I don't know. I don't freaking know. That's as close a comparison as you can get.
That's fair. I mean, if you're looking for a good non-alcoholic beer, shout out Athletic Brewing.
And they have a Athletic Light, which is definitely like their Bud Light, straight up.
Yeah,
it's Bud Light.
It's
and
just Bud Light
again, non-alcoholic. It's good so it's like I don't feel guilty drinking it in the middle of the week.
Fair.
So good times.
That's not bad. All right, shout out Athletic Brewing.
Yeah.
This is their second stint with a different beer.
Yes, I'll keep an eye out for more of those. I do have one for next week already picked out, so good to go.
I will try to get back on the wagon.
It's okay. The best part is it's only 45 calories. So.
Oh, it's even better. It's better than the Modelo Lights. Those are 90. It's double.
Mm-hmm.
Really not bad. You ready?
Yes.
Those are our picks for next week.
Oh,
I was trying to do something like into the future.
I like that. Okay.
So
I'm doing a better job here. I'm not using the Rhode Island Sportsbook app anymore because that one always bleep me up. I'm curious to see. Oh, they do odds by Caesars Sportsbook. Don't worry, I gotta go. I got you. Wait, what happened?
I'm just getting it ready to jot down my picks.
Oh, right. I gotta do that too.
I also don't. I gotta scour first to see who is going to be my Joker pick of the week.
All right. So I already tabulated my week 6. I was 11-3, so I'm good there. So I can delete my week 6 picks and go to week 7. All right. Starting us on Thursday night football, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the Narland Saints. The Jaguars are. Wait, that's not right.
Saints are 3-point favorites.
The Saints are 3-point favorites? What?
They're at home.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. Oh, man, I always told myself never to gamble on Thursday Night Football. That this might have to be my...
This is the problem, because if it was at a fucking 1 o'clock game, it would be different. But it is a primetime game.
Yeah. But in their home,
Do you want to know?
Yeah, what's up?
Going Saints.
You're going Saints?
Going Saints.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm sorry, Jags. Like, I'm glad. I'm sorry. I'm glad that they're doing well. It's like but I I just have a feeling, and I had a feeling about the Colts last week, and I failed. So.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going the Jaguars. If you haven't noticed, that might be my money pick. I might have to come back to that one. We'll see. If nothing else screams out to me, I'm going.
Fair.
I'm going Saints. I'm sorry, Jaguars. Next, starting us at Sunday. So no international game this week. Curious to see. You said we have a lot of buys this week, so we might not have too many games, but we'll see.
Right.
Starting off 1 p.m., we have the Oakland, Los Angeles, Vegas Raiders traveling to the Chicago Bears.
It's unlikely that Jimmy plays.
Unlikely, but the Vegas is starting off as.
What about Fields? Do we know?
No, I don't think he's likely to play. I think he's out for a while.
So this could be like the shit bowl.
Yeah, this could be a backup. So two bad teams. Usually when I see two bad teams, I mean the Raiders just beat the Patriots, or even worse. Yep. I go with the home team, but the Bears are that bad, so I'm going to go with the Raiders.
I am also going to go with the Raiders because shout out Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, Hoyer the Destroyer, baby.
Fucking right. I'm going with the Raiders.
He had the Browns at 10-6 one time and missed the playoffs, but
3-point favorites.
Yeah. Next, we have the Browns traveling to the Colts. The Browns are 2-point favorites. Oh, you know what? Also, shout out PJ Walker for the Browns.
Is he going to start this
I don't know, but he started for the last game. XFL legend, XFL 2.0 legend.
Fuck
shout
yeah.
out. Good on him.
I need a horn, I need a shout out horn type deal. I don't have one of those, but I need one of those.
Yeah. There's some weird stuff going on with Deshaun. He was like the coach said he was cleared to play a couple weeks ago, but then it was then I read from Schefter, and Schefter's like his mouthpiece, so I take everything he says with a grain of salt because he gets his information right from Deshaun's agent. It's a contusion like ligament thing, a contusion like is that like a bruise? So I don't know what his problem is, but I honestly don't know about this game. The Browns I feel like are coming off a very big high, but you could very easily see that drop. But they also have the number 1 defense in the league, and the Colts are playing Minshew, so I'm going Browns.
I am going with the Colts. Gardner.
Again?
With the revenge. Listen, you motherfucker. Again, I think at home I have a little bit more faith. He obviously threw fucking 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. He threw 3 picks last week anyway. Yeah. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm a sucker for punishment. Yeah. I'm going with the Colts. I mean, so far, just the 3 games we just talked about, they're all fucking tight.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of punishment, next we have the Buffalo Bills traveling to the New England Patriots. Bills are 8.5-point favorites.
Where do you go spread-wise? I'm interested in what you would think here. You're at home.
They are at home.
You used to have their number.
Used to. It was a long time ago.
It was many moons ago.
We have not since that weird weather bowl we had against the Bills where we won because Mac threw it twice the entire game.
Yep.
They've smoked us every single time. So I'm going Bills, and they probably will cover. Honestly,
I am.
I think the Patriots. This could get ugly. This could get fans booing. Halftime down 20-0. It could get ugly.
0-3 at home. I'm gonna go with the Bills. Sorry,
it could get ugly. And I said it last week. Until the Patriots show me something, I'm probably until.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
you gotta be honest about it.
Yep. And the next we have the Washington Commanders traveling to the New York Football Giants. Commanders are 2-point favorites. I don't know if Daniel Jones is playing. And it's interesting because we said last week. I think I searched it while we were chatting, and Daniel Jones' neck wasn't that bad, and then he didn't play, so I don't know if he's playing again. I'm not sure.
Historically, he does run all over us. If he does play, if that feeds into your, I just want to be honest about it. He usually runs all over us.
I'm gonna go the Redskins. Sam Howell has exactly 1,500 yards. That's interesting.
Me too.
Whoa.
Me too.
Wow.
I'm going with Washington.
I like that.
On the road against the Giants.
And I didn't pick them last week, and I messed up, so I'm not doing that again.
Listen, I'll take the reverse psychology.
This next one's an interesting one because it's 2 teams I can't figure out. We have the Atlanta Falcons traveling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 2.5-point favorites.
They fucked me last week. I did. I was drinking the Baker fucking juice.
Yep. And they were at home that game too, right?
But having played Atlanta, and Atlanta could easily be better than they are record-wise, but giving how they played and the decision-making and the play calling, I think Baker has his return game going Bucks. Bucks at home. Fuck it.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny. I've watched every team at least once, like a full game all the way through. You know, obviously Patriots, Bills on a prime time, Commanders on prime time, or Fox, Giants prime time. I've watched them all except for the Buccaneers. I have not watched the Buccaneers game start to finish, so I can't. I don't even think I've seen Baker throw a pass. So I'm having a hard time like conceptualizing him.
Fair.
But also, I watched the Falcons in London, and Ritter was the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life after Mac Jones, so I'm going to go with the Bucks.
Fair.
That was a long way of saying I'm going to go with the Bucks.
Oh, no, but I appreciate the context. I almost watched that game, but because we had my father got the box, I was like, let's watch the Patriots. It's like, we never actually watched the Patriots because we don't have the box, and then Alex is also a Raiders fan. So like, fuck it, we'll watch that game.
There you go. Nice. Next, we have the darlings of the leagues, the Detroit Lions, traveling to the Baltimore Ravens. And the Baltimore Ravens are 3-point favorites.
That's interesting.
That is interesting to me as well.
Maybe just home court advantage there?
I guess so, yeah. I guess so. I'm going Lions. What?
I'm just thinking about it. Like,
I mean, I've been riding that pony.
You have, and again, it's just matchups. It's matchups that fucking like realistically, it's better for me if the Ravens win.
Right. Yeah.
I think that this is going to be. Oh, the Ravens don't look that good even at 4-2. I'm gonna just be different. I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
All right.
Listen. I'm still listen. If Washington is completely out,
listen. This show
I will cheer for those Lions.
Yeah, this
best
show
I can.
would be really boring if we just agreed on everything. So
yeah, listen. I think the Ravens could do it, but you know what? And it would benefit me because Detroit is in the NFC. But again, listen. I will wave that flag if we are knocked out of the playoffs. But I'm going to go with the Ravens at home. Fuck it.
Yep, and I'm gonna go. So we got the next game here, and I'm already looking like down the list here, and we got the Steelers Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are 3-point favorites, and then I'm going to take the Rams, the home team. Steelers going cross country, going West Coast. Their brain's it's gonna be 10 a.m. for them.
Coming off a bye.
Yep.
I am also going to pick the Rams.
And then next we have an interdivisional matchup between the Arizona Cardinals traveling to the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are 8-point favorites.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, but I could see them losing again. They're at home. I could see a divisional game. I could see them losing it.
But I can see it too.
Like the spread on that one, I would be sus on the 8.
That's the exact reason I picked the Cardinals last week, and they effed me over. So I'm going Seahawks. I think the sheen is starting to come off the Cardinals a little bit. They have been playing tough, but when you give it your all, you're playing 110%. Eventually, it starts, wearing down on you, and then the wheels fall off.
Sure.
So I can see that coming up, happening with the Cardinals.
Fair enough.
Next, we have the Green Bay Packers traveling to the Denver Broncos. This is a game I'm not looking forward to.
What a fucking toss-up. Look at the spread on it.
Yeah. Packers are a 1-point favorite. I'm not looking forward to this game. I'll say that. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this game at all.
Packers are coming off a bye.
Yep.
But I just every time I've put more faith in Green Bay, and they haven't shown up really.
Yeah.
They don't know who they are yet.
Right. Yeah, and Jordan Love has not been impressive at all.
And Denver knows that they're bad. So maybe for that alone, I'll go with the Packers.
Yeah, and the Packers should be 1-4. They got lucky that Carr got hurt that game because they were down 16-0 when he got hurt, and then they came back and won. But I'm going Packers just because I want Russ to get benched more than anything I've ever wanted in my entire life.
Listen, I feel like Denver could win. I'm not sold on Green Bay.
Denver could win, but I feel like there's that house is in disarray there. And it's interesting because Russell Wilson's numbers don't look terrible, but he does not pass the eye test. I don't know. He just doesn't look great. Like, he's 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I feel like they should be better, but they ain't.
I'm also going to take Green Bay on the road.
All right, and then next we have the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are I don't see a spread here, probably because the Chargers are playing right now. So yeah, the Chargers versus the Chiefs. I want to say the Chargers. My heart says the Chargers, but my brain says the Chiefs.
I feel the same fucking looking at this game. I was like, oh man, I would love to see the Chargers fucking go. Again, the Chiefs have not put up a lot of points. They haven't looked fantastic.
No. But that division, they just own that division right now. I think Herbert needs a defining victory. He just needs it. He needs that victory, and I think he's going to get it next week.
I like that.
I'm going to say the Chargers.
I'm going with the Kansas City Taylor Swifts.
Not a bad pick. I could see it going either way. And then next we have a good game, another good NBC game. The Miami Dolphins traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Nice. Joker pick of the week.
Yeah.
My Joker pick of the week goes in a line with 2 weeks ago's hot take.
Yep.
Dolphins are going to get fucking handled.
Yeah,
they're going to get fucking handled.
That's why
and I hope they don't, really, because of the division, but I think they get fucking handled and humbled.
That's a good call. That is also why I'm picking the Eagles for that exact reason of the hot take. So, yeah. And the Eagles are 1.5 point favorite, so I could see them covering that for sure. I'm just going to make all my bets on Jess's hot take.
Again, primetime game.
Good
on the road in Philly. That is not a fucking easy game. And the Dolphins score points. They have the weapons. I just think that maybe they get humbled in that game.
Yep. Hey, man, I wonder.
But all right, so you gotta still. Don't
worry. I told you if I didn't see one that called out.
Oh, there's still a Monday night game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, where the fuck is it?
So, Monday night game, the San Francisco 49ers are traveling to the Minnesota Vikings. And the 49ers are 7-point favorites. And I am going to make my...
Sorry, I got to get used to him.
Mo's money pick. I think the 49ers are going to come into this game being angry, pissed, in want of a victory. Not just a victory, but a blowout.
A bludgeoning of the Captain Kirk's Vikings.
So I can see the 49ers blowing doors. I really thought long and hard about the Jags and Saints, but Thursday Night Football is just too for me, and that would have just really annoyed me. And the Vegas Bears ones too, but that's going to be a really crappy game if it's a game of backup, so I'm trying to avoid that one too. So going with the 49ers.
I like it. And again, this week we have 6 teams on a bye. The Bengals, Cowboys, Titans, Jets, Panthers, and Texans all on a bye. I don't know why we had 2 this week and then 6 this week. I don't fucking get it, but anyway, we'll see. What are we looking at right now for the Monday night game? What's that score?
Right now, let me just pop it open. I'm still losing it by about 6. I think I was losing by 9 when I last talked about it.
I picked the Chargers. Who did you pick this week? I mean, for the Monday night game that's on right now.
I picked the Chargers, too. Okay. Right now, the Chargers have it 7-7.
7-7.
With a minute 30 left in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, Herbert's driving. Maybe they're at the 50, so they may be going for a field goal there. Come on, Herbert. Just get a touchdown so I can go to bed. Damn. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the game next week. Oh, I have to make my bet. That's right. I like to do it whilst on the air.
Make the bet.
Yep.
Hopefully, if the Chargers win, I go 11-4 this week. Last week I went 6-8. This week the picks we just made, I'm not expecting more than 500 because there's just too many fucking close games that could go either way.
That's fair. There are some close games in there. Yeah.
Anyway,
I still can't figure this app out. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So again, these are up usually by noon every Tuesday on YouTube's, and usually around the same time Tuesday morning-ish. They're on all the audio platforms, the Spotifys and the Apples, and
they're all there. You could usually I try to get it up after the YouTube goes up, just so it's kind of the same time-ish. And I know the YouTube one takes a while to upload. The auto one, it just drag and drop. It goes in like 2 minutes. So yeah. Usually around like noonish time-ish.
Try to get them up by noon by Tuesday. So like, comment, share, subscribe, and whoever has actually listened.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah,
I think we had like 40 views on the last one.
Yeah,
so.
that's.
I mean, listen, every view counts.
Sure does.
I appreciate everybody who actually listens. Honestly, we've been around an hour 20, so this is kind of like their cadence right now. Although next week with 6 teams on bye, might be a little bit shorter.
Yeah, it might be a little bit shorter. And the week after that, we get 2 weeks after that, we get the Patriots and Cami. So that'll be an interesting one. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. But yeah, I am not enjoying the Patriots so far, but I am enjoying the NFL season. It's the only sport I could watch like any team typically play.
Right.
And yeah, so keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on until week 7.
Week 7.
God, it's already flying by, dude.
I know, right? That's fine.
It's the MVP. I don't know if she listens. She plays fantasy. She should listen.
She should listen.
You should listen. Because you know what? If you did listen and you listened all the way through MVP,
yeah, that's right.
Then you would leave a comment on this video. We're playing your music here.
So now I'm gonna look at this next episode and see if she commented, and if she didn't, then we'll know if she.
Then
wants.
we know. We know you're a faker, and I'm not gonna play your music anymore.
That's right.
Okay, we out.
Later. Bye.